Hi guys, welcome to the virtual ashram. Today I'm back to make you guys a very Ayurvedic, very sattvic and nutritious meal using chickpeas, green beans and many great spices. So let's go ahead and make this together. Okay, so first things first, I have soaked basmati rice here. As you can see, the water is pretty clear, which is a really good sign. I washed this thoroughly before soaking it. That's gonna reduce a lot of the anti-nutrients and arsenic and all the things that could potentially be bad for your gut. I'm just gonna wash it one more time before adding it to the pressure cooker. You can pretty much reduce 90 to 95% of all the anti-nutrients that could be bad for your gut. This is also a half a cup of dried rice. The recipe that I'm making is good for 2 to 3 people, depending on how hungry you are. Next, I have some almost sprouted chickpeas. As you can see, the chickpea is beginning to sprout. It looks really good. And you can check the link in the description if you want to learn how to sprout your legumes properly. Check out the video. This is also a little more than half a cup of dry chickpea to our Instant Pot. Next, we are going to add our vegetables. So I have 2, I would say pretty large beets here. I'm gonna have to wash them, peel them and chop them, put them in there. Just be careful, beets can get really messy, so you might need to use gloves, and just be careful not messing up your kitchen.
Because I'm gonna be mad.
Beets is one of those vegetables that I think you should have in your weekly kind of routine. I have beets at least once a week. Very nutritious vegetable. Is excellent for your blood circulation, and I can just go on and on. It has a lot of benefits. It's great for your liver. It's time for our second vegetable. I have some green beans here. These are actually French beans, to be specific. Pretty much the same as green beans. With my experience, they look better. They taste slightly better, just my opinion. Green beans have a lot of vitamin C. A lot of people don't know this because when you talk about vitamin C, you usually think of oranges, lemon, and kind of these type of things. But green beans have a great amount of vitamin C, very good for you. If you're using a pressure cooker, this step is very important because if you add too much water, this is gonna turn into soup. If you don't add enough water, it's just gonna become very mushy. So I added some water to our pressure cooker. I only use filtered water for my cooking because might as well. We're trying to make a super sattvic recipe. I mean, you don't want to use tap water to ruin the whole thing, right? Just enough to get the steam going, but you definitely don't want to submerge the whole thing. The reason I'm doing this is I want to preserve as much as nutrients as I can, because as you know, cooking is just going to destroy a lot of the nutrients, especially the water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C. Potentially even some of the B vitamins could get destroyed in cooking. But pressure cooking, just because it's so fast, you can cook something like this in less than 10 minutes. And my vegetables and my legumes are not in too much contact with the water. This way, I'm gonna make sure that more than 80 to 90% of the nutrients are preserved. Now, the most important part, adding the spices. Himalayan salt. I usually use pink Himalayan salt. It also has a lot of minerals that are good for you. This is a relatively heavy meal because we have chickpeas, which are pretty heavy. We have beets, heavy vegetable. So I like to add some cumin powder, because cumin powder is really gonna help you digest all these chickpeas. And it's also very warming. We're in winter in Canada, so we could use some cumin for sure. I'm also going to add some ginger powder. This is gonna help us digest this food better because, as I said, it is a bit heavier and it's also warming. The main spice that I'm going to add to this for the taste, I'm gonna use ground cardamom, because this is a sweeter dish. Beets are pretty sweet, and I've experimented with this and cardamom goes really well. You know, they call cardamom the queen of all spices. Pretty magical spice. You should use this, I would say, daily. As you can see, I was pretty generous with the spices. Reason being because I'm using a pressure cooker. So it's really hard to make this flavorful. So be a little generous with your spices. Now we're ready to cook this. So all we're going to do is we're gonna cook this on high pressure for 6 minutes. Yeah, 6 minutes is all you need for this very delicious, nutritious recipe. I'm also going to let it sit for 15 minutes after that so all the steam gets released naturally. Minutes, usually I do 6 minutes and then 10 to 15 minutes of natural release. Our food is being cooked right now in the pressure cooker. Just wanna prepare the things I wanna add to the food after it's done. First thing first, I have walnuts, which have been soaked overnight also. As I said, I'm trying to make a super nutritious meal. So we need some healthy fats in there. Walnuts are a great source of healthy fats. They have omega-3 and are very good for your brain. The next thing I'm going to add to the food when it's ready is a coriander seed. The reason I'm doing this, the walnuts and the coriander seeds, once I cook them for a few minutes, they're gonna add the perfect crunch. I like to say that coriander seeds are a bit cooling. I usually use coriander seeds in summertime, but because our food is overall very warming, just a little bit of coriander seeds is not gonna hurt. It's just gonna create some balance. So I'm gonna add some oil to the pan. So the sesame oil that I'm using is cold pressed, unrefined. It's not a toasted sesame. It's as pure as it gets. Sesame oil is also great for Vata dosha. We've been posting about different doshas on our posts. If you don't know what your dosha is, please check out the page. So sesame oil, really good for Vata dosha, is also very warming. Very great oil to use in winter time. So as you can see, our food is pretty much ready. I've also added the walnuts and coriander seeds. So now we're gonna make it look very pretty. We're gonna garnish it by adding just 2 ingredients. First, I have some parsley here and 1 lime. Okay guys, the food is ready. Let me know once you make it and try it. I'm hoping that you feel super sattvic after consuming this very nutritious meal. See you till next time.